I realized that I daydream a little bit while I move through the world. Or maybe not daydream, but there's a part of my brain, the visual part, that is paying attention while other things are happening. I might be following a train of thought, worrying about something or thinking about something, but at the same time noticing things that are happening in my environment. And so as I move around and as I drive through the landscape or walk through the landscape, I see things that I think are interesting looking, peculiar. I actually conceive of them as portraits. And I conceive of them as portraits because they specifically reference particular cell towers that I see all the time and I've been looking at for years. And what I'm interested in trying to capture is not some kind of perfect fidelity, not some kind of photographic representation of the precise relationships of what was there, but rather something more in the spirit or tradition of traditional portraiture, where the goal is to highlight the importance of the subject. The goal is to describe something significant about the subject of the portrait. But I liked that idea of characterizing them that way because it gave me the flexibility to idealize them and even to recontextualize them. Then the same thing is true for things like billboards. I began to be more aware of these random trapezoids in a field next to the highway as I sped by. Not just for the message that was on the front, but in circumstances that revealed them more as something unusual. So seeing them on the opposite side of the road, coming from a different direction, or seeing them at night in conditions where you couldn't really read them, but you could see the shape illuminated off in the distance. There's something very, very important about the way in which these particular examples of communication express things about us as human beings in a society, but also at the level of individual complicity, individual agreement to participate in this. I think that there's a meaningful reverberance or resonance of ideas that comes out of seeing different kinds of work investigating similar themes. And this is what I think is interesting and important about seeing them all together in one space. They're linked by my awareness that each one of these different systems, billboards, street signs, cell towers, are a stand-in for what we as human beings agree to, what we care about, what we want, what we're willing to do. When I think about what next, where to go with what is here in the show, it's a very hard question to answer, except the part about being excited about it. The truth is that so often the work that we make as artists comes from working. And so it's not as if I sit around deciding exactly what I'm going to do and then I rush into the studio and execute it. So much of what's been exciting for me and that represents growth for me as an artist is that I've allowed myself to try whatever appears to be necessary in the moment to get at the idea. And that's what I think is coming next. More of that, more of exploring, more of experimenting, and more of letting my wondering manifest itself into materials.
I think we've got a lot of really good material there.